Yo, what's going on, commanders? Hope everyone's doing good. I've got a little tip for the using the any unit in your base basically. So when I'm online and I'm getting attacked, I want to have these all selected. So all me, as you can see down the bottom here, I've got the 4 C-Rams and I've got the Seymour all selected. And there's a little trick you can do when you're online, as long as you don't get disconnected. This works. So if I hit Shift and click the 1 button, and I'm going to push the space bar now, it deselects them. And if I push the 1 button again, it reselects all my units. This is where it comes in handy. So then I can move my units where I want them in the base. So I'm in this corner. I'm in the bottom right hand corner there. That was right, of the world map. So I'm going to move these units into position roughly to where I want them. And this one you want to put on your CC, purely for the fact is, I'll let you know right now, I think it's a 95% damage reduction from fire on your CC. Let me just get to it. And I think it's this one here. Oh, it would do, wouldn't it? As long as the unit's within 300, it says units of the, it's 300 range of the building, you get a 98% reduction. Less damage from, I can't get it, I can't see it, aircraft. So I'm going to move him onto my CC. And what I'm trying to do with this, with the shift buttons and all that, is when I've got them all in my base, I don't want them on fist permanently, because players can draw them out. And what I mean by that, you can put an uni in, say I'm coming in here from the top, I can put the uni in and go left or right, and push the D key. That will bring all my C-Rams and the Seymour out to that position. They can then drop a tune and kill my C-Ram and Seymour instantly. I don't want that to happen, so I've got all these selected with the 1 key. If I hit spacebar, the 1 key, as long as I don't DC at this point, that 1 key still works. So if you do DC or you log off, you need to redo it every single time you log back on. But as you can see, I'm selecting all. So then I can put them all on fist. And then I can put them all on defend when I don't need to use them anymore. Generally, as a rule, the unis are put into your base first thing. Some players do surprise you a little bit and don't put them in first thing. Some players will do what I just told you. They will put an uni into the base. Either leave Ruby off, I think it is. Or they just put it left, right into your base. And then hit the D key. That will bring out all of your anti-air towards that uni, and they will go right up there and sit there. 9 times out of 10 they're sitting there doing nothing, just waiting for a tune to come in and hit you. I can't show you it live because it's hard for me to discuss what's going on in a live battle when there's too many differentials, if you know what I mean. There's too many different things players can do. You can also do it for the standard unit. So you hold shift, I push 2 on the foxhound, or I could select them all. So I could bring them all out, all my infantry, all my heavy hitters, including that one, and I could just do 2 for all of them. I've got one in there that's going to stay on fist all the time, that's this one. I'm not too worried about the Kodiak, but these ones are important to me, so I don't want to put them all on fist. So I'm going to knock the fist off on them. I'm going to hit the D key. Actually, I've got to select them all, that would help. I think I'll move the Kodiak as well. Yep, like a dumbass. Bear with me. Let me put the Kodiak back in there. I'm going to put him on fist. I'm going to select all these. I'm going to hit the D key. And then I'm going to hit it again. It'll turn it off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to push Shift 2. So 1 will be the anti-air. 2 will be the ground. And then I'm going to put these back into position. So where they was. Going to move one of them, and then I've got 1 brings up, as you can see in the bottom here, I'm hitting the 1 key on my keyboard after hitting shift on them all, and then 2 will be me units against ground. I kind of want to move him out a little bit, just enough so they can see him, which will be there, and then that way I'm good to go. I haven't got to have all my units on fist when I'm defending. And I would advise against using fist when you're logged off as well. what I'll do with the C-rams and all that, the C-ram and the Seymour, move them out further so they're hitting further out. So they're hitting the units as they come in straight away. But yeah, that's how I would go with this. I think this is the right way to do it. So you go 1, and I've got me Seymour and C-rams, and 2 will bring up the Hungry Howard, Mars, Bombard, and Foxhound. I'm not sure about the Bombard in my base, guys. It's in there as a base filler at the minute. I might well put the other one in there, the hero, the newest hero. We've got this one, Kobayashi. I may swap that out for Kobayashi. I'm in 2 minds with that at the minute. But what that will do, that will stop them being able to draw your units out and killing them on spawn. So then that way you've got a better chance. You know what you've got to click, what you've got to select. The only problem is you've got to pull them out every time. So if I do, let's refresh. I'll show you. It'll lose the select on them. So I've just got to pull one set out, and I've got to do the same thing again, what I've done earlier. I don't need that for now. So what I'm going to pull out is I'm going to pull out the C-rams and the Seymour. Then I'm going to go over my base, wait for them to all move. And then I'm going to hit Shift 2. So that's my base tune selected again. But then I'm going to select this one and just make sure Fist is on. It is on in him. So I've got 2 selected where it brings up the base tune. And then I just go Shift 1 and put the units back where I had them previously. That you have to do this every time you get a DC, every time you log off and log back on. But it should help massively, especially if you do a lot of PvP. So they're all selected again. So I hit spacebar and I hit 1. As you can see, I've got the Seymour and C-ram selected. Then I hit 2. I've got all my ground ready in there. I also want him on Fist. He is on Fist anyway. So if I hit 2, you'll see I can select each individual one from just hitting 2. And that should make defensive a lot easier. What I tend to find what works best for me is if I'm only controlling a set number of things. So it used to be before Hungry Howard would be my main control. I would use that because he was so much more powerful than everything else. He's starting to decline now, so he's not as good as what he was before. So I do want to make sure I've got everything that I can tackle, especially if Grand comes in. I've got everything selected. So then I can either put them on Fist, put them on Defend, change a position of a unit, for instance. If I want to change that position and move from here to over here, I've got it all at my hands ready to go. I'm hoping this helps you out, guys. Fingers crossed. Actually, I want to move that C-ram. I'm using the M key. If I'm moving a unit in my base as well, I'm using the N key, so it doesn't select buildings or turrets and things like that. It just overwrites it. So I'm tapping M there. Look, I can click right on top of that building. I can click right there, and it won't deselect the C-ram. And this guy, I don't know why he's down there. I want him up here somewhere. Actually, I'm going to bring him. I'm not too sure where I want him. He's actually pretty good, Luke, and he's only 100 space. Again, it's like a base filler. I'm going to put him there, but he is on Fist. So yeah, hopefully this helps you out, guys. Hopefully it gives you a bit of a fighting chance, especially when you're going up against them Unis. They're still very good. And then you're not going to get overrun by Grand as well at the same time. I've given you all my base tune there, guys. You can see in the bottom here. Or actually, I'll go into the tune so you can see. That's what I've got. And then it's bog standard in the bunkers and towers. Heavy gunners with the corrosion and the missionaries and things like that. I think I've got a few the legacy rocket guys as well. Yeah, a couple of stingers. But that should set you on your way. Hopefully it'll give you a bit more control over what's going on. When you try to overthink things and you try to select things individually, especially in your base where it's cluttered, and you're just overthinking it, sometimes you misclick. So I find it easier just to use that Shift 1 and Shift 2 You could go further. You could go all the way to Shift 9, I think even 0 on your keyboard. But I find that the less you've got to think about, the easier it is to defend, if you know what I mean. So, fingers crossed, that gives you some help, guys. And start to enjoy PvP a little. Take care all. Bye-bye.